Hello and welcome to Up to Speed, our way of keeping our customers up to date with the latest news and announcements in the video camera industry. And last night, Fujifilm have announced the X-T4, their new flagship APS-C mirrorless camera taking over from the very popular X-T3. Now the X-T3 was a great camera, but for video customers specifically, to be honest, it often missed out to some of the competition, like Sony's A7 line or the Panasonic GH5 in particular, and that's because of a few key reasons. So, what's new with the X-T4? Well, Fuji have fixed almost exactly those key reasons. And this could mean that Fujifilm have now made not just the best APS-C mirrorless camera for video, but perhaps the best mirrorless camera in that budget range, full stop. We will of course try it out when it's in a more finished state. Any working models that are around at the moment are early pre-production units, so we're going to wait for a full production one to see what the camera can actually do. But for now, let's go over the features that are new. At its heart, the X-T4 is the same camera essentially as the X-T3. It's got the same 26.1 megapixel CMOS APS-C sensor, same processor unit, and the same retro design with manual dials for exposure control on the top. For us video users, it can do 4K 60p in all-eye data rates at up to 400 megabits a second, their own log format called F-Log, 10-bit 420 color sampling, and a choice of H.264 or H.265 compression. The only real change from the already great video recording options on the X-T3 is the addition of 1080p at 240 frames a second for some more slow motion. So the big new feature, and one that will make a huge difference for video users, is the new in-body stabilization system. Fuji have had IBIS on their X-H1 series for a while, but this new one in the X-T4 is 30% smaller and 20% lighter, with a claimed 8 times improvement in movement detection accuracy over the X-H1's IBIS system because of a move to magnetic technology rather than springs. We'll obviously have to wait to try this out in person to see how good this actually is, but from the sample footage that's been cropping up online from people testing those pre-production units, it looks pretty impressive. We also get a new fully articulating screen, so it flips out to the side rather than tilting up or down like on the X-T3. So if you do any form of filming yourself, whether that's vlogging or even pieces to camera like this one, this is a very useful feature to have. And it can even be useful as an operator to show client or talent in front of the camera the shot or framing when needed. So for video, it's a very welcome addition. And of course, the combination of this and that new IBIS system will certainly keep the YouTube and vlogger crowd happy. In fact, the only drawback from the announcement is that in order to fit the stabilization mechanism in there, they had to lose a port, and they chose the headphone jack. So there's no 3.5mm audio output from the camera itself anymore, while there is on the X-T3, and that's a real shame. Fuji have given us some workarounds though. There's an adapter cable to go from the USB-C to a 3.5mm port, and the new battery grip unit will have a 3.5mm port on it. So there are workarounds. Fuji clearly understand that this is an important port, but it's a shame to lose such a convenient feature from the X-T3. It's also worth noting that the X-T4 has a new battery system. This is the larger battery for longer run times and comes along with a slightly bigger grip on the camera to make the X-T4 slightly more comfortable to hold, which is nice. There are also some other small quality of life tweaks to the design, like swapping out the exposure zone mode dial for one to change between stills and video modes, and moving around some of the customizable buttons on the back of the camera. So, we now have a hybrid mirrorless camera at a reasonable price with great stills and video performance, 4K 60 with decent codec options, in-camera stabilization, flip-out screen, phase detect autofocus, great slow motion. I think this ticks all the boxes, and it could be an incredibly popular camera, and I for one can't wait to get my hands on one. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and of course, if you want to pre-order one, just head over to proav.co.uk. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.